Hello friends, I am Unsolicited, and in this video I am going to tell you 5 mistakes which you should not do if you receive any IT notice. Lots of time people do this mistake, they half cook the food, spoil it and then bring it to us and we can't do anything because already it is a done deal. So what are these 5 mistakes most of people do when they receive income tax notice? I am going to tell you in this video and solution also. So let's begin. So hi friend, my name is Unsolicited and in this video I am going to talk about five commonly made mistake by taxpayers, maybe resident or NRIs, which they do when they receive income tax notice, which they should not do it. So let's begin. So mistake number 1, replying themselves. They feel that income tax notice is something casual thing and they can just reply some casually and it will be sorted. It's not. It's a proper procedure which has to be properly done with sections, case laws, because until unless you don't prove your point, let me assure you, you will get the demand for sure. So always when you receive a notice, until unless you are not a qualified chartered accountant and you have a lot of experience in handling notices, don't do it. Hire a person, get some consulting, they will definitely charge for it. But at least at the end of the day, if you will not end up paying taxes which you should not pay, and it's not a matter of tax, it's a matter of penalty also. So always if you receive a notice, even you understand it properly, better to take a guidance than taking it yourself. So this first mistake you should not do it. Second mistake which I have seen lots of cases, when people reply themselves, they send all the documents, most of the documents which they have not even asked for. Now basically what happening, you are opening yourself for more like scrutiny and maybe more additions. So sometime if they just ask you the bank statement or something, you just send that bank statement for that period. You're not going to send bank statement for everything. So people feel that if I give them over documents and all, they're going to trust us. The income tax department going to trust you that, oh, it is a very simple fellow, he's sending everything, he must be very honest, let's not bother him. Now understand, in income tax there is a rule, the person is guilty of tax, you can say tax non-payment, until it is proven. It's not like a normal case. In normal cases or normal scenarios, it's opposite. But in income tax, if something comes to the notice of the income tax department, most probably they have more information on issues, or maybe they have some misinformation due to their system, because nowadays most of notices are not selected manually by income tax department. It is automatically selected by income tax system and then it is sent to the income tax officer for further follow-up and further processing. So understand, there has been some red flags, that's why you're receiving notice, and then you have to understand the reason, origin, why this red flag has happened. Now I will tell you some examples so that you will understand. Some cases there is a red flag that you have sold a property and there is a cash deals happening or cash entries in a bank account, system might have flagged. Now you have to understand, some cases or most of cases it can be directly related to the property bought or sold and the cash payment made. But in some cases there can be genuine issues where people have got some cash from gift or maybe somewhere else, they sold some jewelry or something like that, and there is a cash is deposited. In that case you have to understand the reason, the very reason the notice is sent to you, the system has flagged your PAN number, your income tax return. So you have to understand before you reply. So always consult. Again I'm saying, just for the sake of, people will say that I'm promoting my business, but that's not a fake fact, because once the order is issued, understand this point, once the income tax officer understood that you are not providing what they are basically seeking, and really they don't have that much time to get into details, they just want to finish it because they have very limited time, and once they issued the income tax order, that means the only option with you is either pay taxes whatever demanded along with interest and penalty, or go for appeal. Now appeal is most hopeless thing in India if you talk about income tax laws. In criminal cases maybe you will get a date, here you are not bothered that when your number will come, 1 year or 2 year or 3 years. And some cases when the money is big, they will freeze your account also, or they will force you to pay payment before you go for appeal. So always again, for the sake of repeating, I'm saying, if you got a notice, never reply yourself and never upload document which they have not asked. you can spoil your case, and later the CA will not have anything to say because already you have killed your case and you already made yourself an accused. Now, third problem is asking for unsolicited advice. Now, once a person receive a notice, he will ask everywhere that what to do, and most of time they will read online. They will ask some friend. They will maybe asking some CA who are not in practice, or maybe some person who is lawyer whose specialty is not tax laws, who might be dealing in criminal lawyers. So they ask everywhere, but not to the right person. Now understand, income tax is very specialized law, and if you say it's one of the most complicated law also, act also, more than 600 700 pages of only act, then if you talk about 1960 till now, so many case laws, so it's not like any simple law, it's very complicated, and person who is specialized in that only can handle that. I'm not saying that it's like a rocket science, but of course it's specialty, it's a specialty. So always ask to the person who is qualified, who is has experience. Now lots of time they ask to CA also who are in practice, but they are mostly maybe in the audit or maybe some other specialty, not in income tax notices, because most of them are even not aware that nowadays it's a faceless notice and you don't have to write a letter and covering letter. Because I've seen sometimes people come with me when their case is already cooked, they come and I see the format is really completely bad, because now everything happens online. You don't get a chance to represent your case also, which used to happen earlier. So everything has become faceless now. In that scenario, your writing skill, your knowledge, quoting proper sections, proper case laws makes you like impress the person and give you a chance to recover from the demands and all. So always, if you're going to any CA, I'm not saying that I'm the only person who is expert in that. There are people also, but always ask them this question, that how many cases they are generally handling in a month. If somebody is handling 1 or 2 cases in a year, of course he will not be updated. So always ask advice from the people who are qualified to do that. It definitely will cost you something, but it will save you a lot of money, which you will end up paying if your case is screwed. The fourth important part, which I really want to make it, that people panic like anything. So most of the time I had to spend my half an hour just to explain them, pacify them. Now understand, income tax is not a criminal law. It's a simple civil law. And most of the civil cases, the maximum thing you will get a penalty. You pay money, you will come out. Right or wrong? People think about that they will be arrested, okay, something like that. It is rarest to rare cases arrest happens. So in most of the civil cases, the charges are not on you, the charges are on your money. So don't worry, yeah, it is not a good idea. The first good thing is you file your return properly, try to do something so that you can avoid the notice at first phase itself. But whatever, by luck or bad luck or whatever, the notice has received, don't bother about that. There are people who will handle. You don't have to go there, you don't have to stand there and give your your statement. Nothing happens like that. So until unless you are not a big shot who is doing a lot of like black and white thing, some big builder, read and search will never happen with you. The max cases, they will send you notice, you just reply notice, provide all the information. Either they will drop the charges or they will just put a order, demand order. If you feel demand order is unjustified, you can go to appeal. It's very straightforward. Everything can be handled by CA. You don't just have to provide documents, information to your CA, and that's it. You just keep doing your work. You don't have to panic, you don't have to think about, you don't have to stress about it. So this thing, always I say, don't panic. It's very simple thing. It happens with almost everybody some part of time, some part of somewhere in the life. So it's very general. It is nothing, you're not going to arrested. Don't bother about it. The last part, the fifth part I want to say is, people try to revise return, rectify when they receive notice. Now understand, the process of rectifying and revision is only available before you receive the notice. Once you receive the notice, the only way is to reply and let them decide what is my income, what is the tax. And then if I feel, of course I can challenge it. First thing, now everything is online, so you cannot revise. But I've seen some places people just go add some income, make some updated return, and they say, okay, I already rectified all the mistake, I think they should drop my charges now. It's not so simple. So one thing, understand, if you got a notice, it says like it's more like a filing a FIR. Once FIR is filed, that means there will be charges set, that means there will be order passed. Without that, the charges, the whole process will not conclude. So revising return, rectifying return is only valid before you get a notice and you come to know that there is a mistake, you can rectify that. But once you receive a notice, you cannot rectify the return, you cannot revise the return. You can only revise or rectify if the income tax officer will give you opportunity to revise and rectify. Then only you can do it, then only the portal will be enabled. So nowadays there's an online thing, once the order will be there, you cannot revise. And even you revise your return, suppose somehow somebody do something, it will be invalid return, it will not be considered on record. So hope friends, in this video I told you all the 5 mistakes which you have done, which generally people do when they receive their notice. And always I simply say that there always, for most of the work, there is some kind of people who are doing this on daily basis. For them it's easy matter. So instead of sweating about it, getting nervous, getting stressed, better to find somebody who has that expertise. Of course, people charge for their expertise. You might also be charging for your expertise. Might be your IT person, might be your investment banker, might be you're earning somewhere with the business. So you also got some specialty. So when you are earning with your specialty, why you bother to pay somebody for their specialty when the need arrives? So easiest way to handle a notice is find somebody who is capable of handling that, giving them documents and information, staying in touch, and that's all. It's cool breeze, it is not going to bother you. That's all in this video, friends. If you like this video, please share and subscribe with your other friends, taxpayers who are there, who try to do this kind of do it yourself experiment. Please don't do this with income tax notices, income tax procedures. These are not something quick fixes. This has to be handled very professionally. That's all in this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.